The leaders, Tranmere, they were playing at Scunthorpe, and they made their best start to the season for 77 years. They actually came from behind here to win this match. Scunthorpe went in front when Jimmy Ryan's cross was headed in by Carl Hawley. And Tranmere equalised when Adam McGurk's cross was met by James Wallace. Jean-Louis Akpa-Akpro then continued his good form by putting Tranmere 2-1 up. He's been on fire this season. And the ball broke kindly for him, and he went on to score his 7th goal of the campaign.
Notts County's last-ditch defeat to Stevenage in midweek wasn't the best way to get ready to face the leaders. And midway through the first half at Meadow Lane, Keith Curle's men were in trouble as fortune favoured Tranmere. Joe Thompson's header, in off the back of Carl Regan, meant Notts were behind at the break for the first time all season. The cross was supplied by Abdoulaye Balbaghi, and Tranmere's live-wire winger almost doubled the lead in the second half. He was picked up on a free by Ronnie Moore during the summer, which looks a typically shrewd move from a manager who's now led the Merseyside club to its best ever start to a season. No wonder the boss is brimming with enthusiasm.
To come here, a big club, and perform, I mean, that's probably the most complete performance we've had this season. I thought we dominated from start to finish. We've got the goal. On another day, probably could have had 4 or 5. I mean, we've had decent chances, especially on the counter-attack, because we've got that little bit of pace now on the team.
Despite their high visibility away kit, Tranmere didn't see this coming from Yeovil. Rovers were perhaps guilty of a little complacency as the Glovers raced into a 2-0 lead at Prenton Park. Paddy Madden got there first. It was 2 before the half hour. Madden was involved again. His shot fell nicely for Sam Foley, and suddenly Tranmere's unbeaten start to the league season was in jeopardy. Rovers pulled one back on the stroke of half-time. James Wallace gave the Whites a lift ahead of what was surely a half-time rollicking from Ronnie Moore. Tranmere looked more like themselves in the second 45 minutes. Shortly after the break, Adam McGurk's cross was almost turned into his own net by Richard Hines. Yeovil remained on the back foot, and the equaliser arrived moments later. McGurk's shot was parried into the path of Jake Cassidy, and the League One Player of the Month made it 2-2. Disaster struck for Yeovil with 18 minutes remaining. Zumana Bakayoko rode a first tackle but couldn't get out of Joe Edwards' way. That clumsy challenge earned the Yeovil man a second booking and the first red card of his career. After that, it was always going to be a question of whether the Glovers could hang on for a point. Their resistance lasted only 6 minutes. A rare goal for Denny Holmes won the game. It takes Tranmere 7 points clear at the top of the table.
Well, I've been joined by the Tranmere manager, Ronnie Moore. Ronnie, to come back from 2 goals down, you're 7 points clear at the top of the division. Everybody's thoroughly enjoying themselves at the minute.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, no one can believe it. It's like a fairy tale, isn't it? You know, if you'd have said at the start of the season, the position that we're in, I mean, we'd probably got locked up. It's that daft, really. But all you can do is play your games, and if you play your games and you win, it takes you to the top of the league.
I thought the first sort of 35 to 40 minutes, I thought we was excellent. I thought we could have had maybe 1 or 2 goals more in that first half spell, but the timing of their first goal really killed us, and it knocked the stuffing out of us a little bit. But we tried to regroup. We got ourselves going in the second half, and we needed to stand up to their pressure and with the supporters behind them and them top of the league, and you know, really the impetus was with them. And then you know, the sending off. He lunged a little bit in the first half. We said to him to stay on his feet, Joe, but he's a young boy learning his trade, you know, and he just got sucked into that, and you know, that seemed to kill our momentum a little bit more.
Very lucky, really, to score bang on half time. You know, I think that was a turning point for me. I just felt then second half that, you know, if we get at him, work their 2 centre halves, and we did that. Yeah. And I think overall probably just about deserved to pinch it.
Well done today.
Cheers, thank you.
And by the NPAL League One Manager of the Month for September, whose Tranmere side now sits 7 points clear at the top of the table. No wonder he's smiling. It's a very warm welcome to Ronnie Moore. Ronnie, Peter, lovely to see you this Sunday lunchtime. If I'd said to you at the start of the season, 11 games in, you'd be 7 points clear, what would your reply have been?
Well, shock, because we are in shock really too. It's just been an incredible journey for us. You know, for us to be 7 points clear, I mean, it's fantastic.
Mixed emotions after yesterday, 2-0 down, then you win it 3-2 in the end, but not ideally the way you want to do it.
No, we didn't play particularly well, I don't think, all through the game. But we got the goal just before half-time, which was brilliant for us. And then, you know, I thought there was only one side going to win it once we got back on level terms, and, you know, it proved that.
Two sides today. First up, Preston MK Dons. Two sides you're expecting to be part of the shake-up come the end of the season, promotion-wise?
Yeah, I mean, they're bound to be there. There's no doubt about that. You know, they're two good squads. They've got good budgets as well. So, you know, it'll be a hell of a game, I think, today. There'll be plenty of goals in this one.
Yeah,
Eddie Howe's first ever home game as Bournemouth boss came against the team topping the table at the time, and the opening task of his second spell in charge of the Cherries presented just the same challenge. It was all going according to form when Jake Jervis put the League One leaders ahead just before the break, and with Tranmere keeping clean sheets in half of their previous games this season, the home fans may have been fearing the worst. But Howe's half-time team talk did the trick. They were given a helping hand by Ben Gibson's own goal to get the turnaround going. But there was nothing fortunate about Harry Arter's effort just 5 minutes later, as he marked his comeback from a month out through injury in style during a performance that had his manager purring with approval afterwards. And Howe must have known it was going to be his day when Simon Francis drilled in his first goal in 3 years to secure back-to-back league wins for the first time since January and lift the Cherries out of the drop zone to cue a return of the Gaffers' post-match tradition.
First half we tried to play, they sat in, made it difficult, we didn't create a lot. Second half I thought we really got going, as did the crowd, and yeah, it was a really good half in the end.
I can't knock our boys, they've been fantastic. You know, top of the league, 13 games in. We've got to start again. We've got 2 home games to come now, and performance like we were in the first half, then we kick on.
Near neighbours Doncaster upset the form book as Ian Hume scored a late winner at leaders Tranmere. Oops, poor keeper.
It was billed as Family Fun Day at Prenton Park, anything to lighten the mood after a miserable week. Still not much to smile about on the field though, as Jeffrey Monacana's cross came back off the bar and Paul Huntington headed Preston ahead 5 minutes after the break. Graham Wesley's side don't do narrow victories. They've scored at least twice in all of their 6 league wins this season and should have been 2 goals up here when Jack King saw the goal gaping before somehow planting the shot wide. The despair all too obvious. And it proved an expensive miss, Tranmere avoiding a 3rd successive defeat. On loan Wolves striker Jake Cassidy squeezing the ball home to move his tally into double figures with the equaliser 5 minutes from time.
We were second best all day, to be fair. You know, one of them games where you just don't get going, and you get them games. But it's so important when you do get them sort of games that you don't lose the game. And to be fair, a bit of credit for my lads. They've shown a bit of guts. Different way of playing. You know, we've had to fight rather than pass today, and you know, it looked like we weren't going to get anything out of the game, but you know, great finish for us, and you know, I'll take the draw, there's no doubt about that.
We dominated the game and I thought we deserved the 3 points. We conceded a late goal, which was disappointing, but our play could very easily have converted into more than the single goal that we got.